Hey amazing leaders, Jules here from Flying Colours Leadership. Welcome to my channel. Super excited. So let's talk about how to delegate in business. Now, every leader I've ever worked with, hundreds of leaders across the country and internationally, they have a couple of challenges in common: communication and delegation. So how do we delegate in business? A lot of times leaders don't know where to start. They don't know what's important and how to delegate well. So let's talk about that today. First of all, we need to know what tasks are actually happening in our team. What do they need to do day to day? And we need to look at what are the strengths and weaknesses of our team, because this can help us delegate really effectively. Now, you might start with yourself. You might look at your to-do list and go, I've got far too much to do. There's no way I'm going to cover this. This is where delegation can be a massive tool. And if we do it well, we can not only alleviate your workload and have you working on the things that you need to work on that are really high value for the team and business, but we can also improve the skill set of your team. And that's where the magic happens. So we need to look at your task list and go, what are the things that are absolutely a hell yes for you to complete? And what are some of the things you can delegate? Our next step is for us to look at our team and understand what skill level we have in our team. What are the strengths of your team? What are the development opportunities for your team? Now, those development opportunities are going to be where the magic happens, because we can start to match a delegated task to someone who needs to develop that skill set. And this is what we want to be doing. We want to be maximizing our time, our efficiency, by ensuring that we're not just delegating to the strongest person in our team all of the time, and we can absolutely do that, but we're also improving skill set and capability in our team so that our team's strength and skill set and capability grows, and you can delegate more and then focus on the things that are important in the business and those high value, high strategic tasks that really are at the bottom of your to-do list that you haven't got to. So once we look at the development areas, then there's a few steps to go through to delegate effectively. We need to understand the tasks that we're delegating. And I know this sounds like, it's so simple. Of course, Julie, I understand what the task is. We need to understand the steps of the task ourselves so we can clearly explain it. So we need to understand the skill sets required, how to actually go through the steps of the task to make sure we're not missing anything. Because remember, once you've done something numerous times, we get into this autopilot. So things can, we can do steps without even thinking. Think about getting in your car and how many times you've, put your seatbelt on, checked your mirrors, and off you go, and you check your seatbelt and go, oh, did I actually put my seatbelt on? Because it was automatic. This is sometimes the downfall when we're delegating, because we miss steps and it creates confusion when we're having that discussion. So this is why planning is important. So once we have the tasks that we want to delegate, we understand the steps of it, then we look at our team. And depending on the task, you might go, okay, I'm going to delegate this to the person who I know can do it because they've done it before. But if we actually want to grow capability and skill set in our team, what we also need to do is we need to look for the people that we can develop. So look in your team and go, okay, who in my team hasn't got that skill set yet, who I can develop? And it may not be the person who has no skill set, it might be one of those team members in the middle that, they're probably halfway there, but they could do with the development of this task. And this helps when we're delegating, because that buy-in from the team member, we can really be talking to them about developing their skills. Your team actually want to be developed, but sometimes they don't want to be coming to you and say, please develop me, please develop me. So we look at the skill set and we look at the team members who actually this could help them with their capability. Bonus if we can actually link it to their development plan, because really, let's be honest, and I'll do more videos on this in the coming weeks and months, but a lot of times development plans are something that are done once and then they're popped in a drawer. So once we've got the team member, now it's about assigning that task to the team member. So the conversation. Now we need to be super clear about some key things when we delegate. We need to be super clear about what the task is, the expected outcome, the desired outcome that we're looking for, so that this is crystal clear. We also need to be really clear about the timelines. The amount of times that I have leaders talking to me saying, Julie, I'm so frustrated. I told them I needed them to do this task and it still isn't done. And I ask the question, as I do, okay, did you set a timeline on it? Oh, right. Your team needs a timeline. So we need to set a timeline on when the task needs to be completed. Now we need to be mindful when we do this that we understand we can't say to them, if the task takes you 10 minutes and you've been doing it for 55 years, we can't say that our team are going to take 5 minutes to do it or 10 minutes to do it. We need to allocate a little bit more time, understanding the person is doing this for the first time. And then we need to set a timeline of when you actually want the task completed, with that buffer included. Then we talk to the team member about the support that we're going to give them. Now, we want to make it clear that they can come and ask us questions while they're working on the task. You do not want team members to get to the end of the task and then come to you and you have to rework the whole thing. I'll talk about that in a second with our role in that. And then we allocate some time to actually ask some questions. And don't ask the question, do you understand? Because when people are confused or embarrassed, they will, absolutely. So we ensure we ask some clarifying questions to ensure they understand the task. Once we've assigned it, then we need to step back. Now, a lot of leaders struggle with this, where they want to be in the task, they want to hover, want to be almost breathing down the person's neck while they do this. Nobody performs well under those type of circumstances. So we need to step back. And I always say to leaders, have another task that you are going to go and do. So it keeps your focus on that task and not hovering. So we give them some space to actually start working on the task we've delegated to them. But we need to check in early and often. And that doesn't mean we walk past them or we Teams them 100 times. It just means we check in and say, how are you going? Have you got any questions? Can I help with anything? Now, what that does is it means that you're checking in before they go way off course. You're actually checking in and you can just correct. You can course correct, just like the pilots do in a plane. We're checking in early and often. We're doing that follow-up, which means we don't get to the end of the task and it's completely wrong, and we're able to give that support, which means the team member feels supported. Now, when the task is complete, that is when we have another conversation with our team member about how they've completed the task. And this is normally where I see leaders, they've done all this hard work, they've done such a good job, and then the person doesn't complete it to 100% satisfaction and the leader responds badly. Now, I want you to remember the person is learning how to do the task for the first time. So just like if a child was learning to walk and they took 2 steps and then fell over, you wouldn't say to them, oh, that was a terrible job. You didn't even, you hardly got anywhere. You would celebrate what they've achieved. So that's what we need to do when the task is complete. Even if it's not 100% complete, celebrate what they've done well and ask them questions to find those gaps to ensure, okay, do you think we've completed this to the desired result that we were looking for? Was there anything different that you'd do if you did this again? Okay, what about, could we do this? See how I'm asking questions? I'm really helping them refine the task and improve it without saying, you need to improve this, this, and this. And you'll notice I'm using a lot of we language. Now, it's not we as in me and them. It's really them, but it's less confronting for people than saying, you need to do this and you need to do that. So when we ask those questions, we can really help improve their skill set just that little bit further and ensure that when we delegate that task again, because to grow a skill set, we need to do it multiple times. When we delegate that task again, they'll do it better and better and better. Now, the other thing to do when you're in this final stage is to recognize the success and the improvement that they've had. Recognize 70%, 80%, 90%. If they've never done the task before, recognize that and praise them for what they have done well. It's not about 100% all of the time, because the reality is nobody does everything 100% all of the time. So we want to recognize that and celebrate that success. And if we do these things when we delegate, what you will find is you will improve the skill set and capability of your team, and you'll actually improve the motivation and the whole feeling of your team when you go to delegate things, because your team will be excited because they'll know they're going to learn something new and they're going to be coached by you as well. It's not going to be a bad experience. They're actually going to learn something, and it also builds the rapport with you and your team, and it builds that trust. And we need trust as leaders. We absolutely do. So that is the stages and the steps to really delegate effectively in your business. If you want some more support on how to delegate effectively, you can reach out to us, or you can download our delegation checklist, which is a checklist to help you, a busy leader, delegate effectively, efficiently, and profitably. So this is Jules from Flying Colours Leadership. Have an amazing day.